Cats are breeding. That's my sitting on the floor. She wants something, but I told her a bit later. Anyway, she's got one of those things in her nose. We've got a great show coming up tonight, Mothers and Daughters. And they're in the green room. They're getting ready right now. And they'll be in here to address these letters in about 20 seconds. Here we go. First letter tonight. It's footage of my girlfriend and me. Hang on, wait till we're done. It's footage of my girlfriend and me, very naked, engaged in what comes naturally, and all very explicit. Great one for mothers and daughters. I ask, at what point do we just say no? This is letter 2. There are millions of refugees all around the world. Are we to take all of them? When do we stop? Can you see that thing in her nose? She's sitting on the floor now. Last letter tonight. I met a man who excited me and made me feel young and sexy again. We kissed, and in a silly moment, I texted him a naked photo of myself. Unfortunately, my husband found the text. All these letters, mothers and daughters, coming up in a moment. Don't go away, sweet and sour. We're going to go and talk to Mai and see what Mai wanted. Where is she? She's gone over here now. In about 10 seconds, sweet and sour. Don't go away. What's wrong? What are you doing? No.
Got a problem, big or small, would a miracle be nice? Our motley crew is back, churning out advice. You might even laugh a bit in the following half hour. Park your backside on the couch, cause baby it's time for Sweet and Sour. Right here on Sweet and Sour. It's time for Sweet and Sour.
Welcome to Sweet and Sour. Gary Mitchell with you for the next half hour. We got a lovely lot in tonight. Mums and daughters. The first mum, you know her, you love her. You keep telling me on email. Hello, Nola.
Hello, Gary.
How are you, love?
I'm very well, and I'm with my firstborn.
Your firstborn, whose name is? Introduce her, come on.
This is my firstborn.
Lean in.
Courtney. This is Courtney.
Hello,
Jane
Courtney.
Walter. She's my first child. I have 2 daughters. This is the oldest. She's a dancer. There you
She's
go.
a dancer. Mum was a singer. You're a dancer. Do you sing as well? Can she sing? Yeah, Mum says
not
yes.
in public.
She doesn't think so, but
right.
she can, yes.
All right. Where do you dance?
Well, I own a dance studio in Subiaco.
You dance whenever you like.
She was a finalist in So You Think You Can Dance.
She's really?
I was a few years ago, 2008.
Fantastic.
Dance around the traps.
Sounds like a proud mother, doesn't it?
Wow, okay, so have you done the Southeast Asian tour and all of that sort of thing? Do you dance up there? No?
No, I danced in Asia, yeah, oh God, I don't even know what year it was, before the show, in Taiwan. Yeah, did a bit of that.
So are you going to be
the boats, though.
Are you going to be a dancing celebrant?
No.
Like your mother is a singing celebrant? But you're not really a singing celebrant, are you?
No, I don't sing. I don't marry and sing. I leave that to Adam Sandler.
Yeah, the wedding singer. That's cute. Hello, Jules.
Hello, Mitch.
You've got your daughter with us as well.
I've got my baby Sarah. She's my baby. She's
Hello, Sarah.
Second-born.
Hello.
Second-born.
Second-born. I've got 2.
Second-born. Eldest over here, youngest over here?
Correct. Yep.
Ah, all right. What does Sarah do?
I'm a performing arts student.
Man.
Where did she get that
Second
from?
nature. Well, you come from a good pedigree, don't you? Because your grandparents were, well, this is Max Kay's granddaughter and Norma Kay's granddaughter. So you've got Julie over here and Brendan.
What chance did she have?
As mum and dad. Yeah. Welcome to the show, you two.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Have you seen the letters?
Oh,
yes.
Seen them.
Interesting.
Did you have a browse of these while you were in Bali? Or did you get them when you came back?
When I came back.
It's just been in Bali, but didn't take the daughter.
No.
I did match. I'm Mitch. I'm
Did
very
you take your daughter?
studious. No, I took the letters.
You took the letters to have a look? All
No,
right.
I didn't really. I'm just a sucker.
First letter. What a beaut start. Oh my goodness. I've had my laptop computer stolen from my car. It was my fault for leaving it in full view of the passenger seat. I wasn't worried because I backed up and I haven't lost a single file or email, but my computer is in someone else's hands. I'm not worried about much of the stuff in there, but I've realised that I've had one group of very, very, very personal videos stored in there. To be frank, it's footage of my girlfriend and me, very naked, engaged in what comes naturally, and it's all very explicit. I'm not worried about myself too much because guys are hailed as heroes for their sexual exploits. We said that earlier, didn't we?
We did.
My girlfriend, however, has no idea these videos are on my laptop and they've also been stolen. I don't know what could happen and I don't know whether I should tell her or not. Please, could you give me some advice here? I'm worried about the videos being sold off to some porn sites and then the whole world would potentially find out. I could lose her through this carelessness and I could ruin her career, and for that matter, I could ruin mine too. Help! It comes to us from Carl of Mile End in South Australia. Nola, ever put yourself on video?
Yes.
Can I Google you somewhere?
No, this is just something you don't do. I wouldn't watch it myself. I'd be like, oh God, hideous, hideous. No. I think very, very, very silly person. And I don't really know what to say.
Silly
because
for losing it? Silly
for recording it. Silly. All round silly.
Silly.
No girl, unless they look like Brad and Angelina, you know, then go knock yourselves out. You know, if you've got nice ripe and nice whatever, you know, then if everything's moving the right way, then I say have a good look. But no one's going to watch it if they don't look like that. Oh, unless they're really hideously ugly and fat and bad, then they will.
I had a mate who admitted to going to a swingers party, and I said, what was it like? And he said, oh, it was so ugly. It was just ugly. All these ugly people.
Yeah.
Sorry for breaking in.
No. Well, that's what I sort of think. I don't think anyone will look at it unless if it's just sort of normal, but unless they're really worth looking at, then they will. And if they're worth looking at for the other end of the scale, then they will. So they're going to be a great laugh or a real porn fun.
Who's going to look at those? Nobody has time to look at those anyway. If it came past, you'd hit the delete button.
And the music's so bad in them.
And that's what you notice the most, right?
Storyline.
All right, come on, Courtney.
Well, when will people learn? Like, I don't understand why people even go there. Why do people... Paris Hilton did it. It never ends good, you know, unless it's
actually, that's
very
a point,
professional, well-paid porn where you look fabulous, you know.
But it didn't do her career any harm. Didn't do her career any harm at all.
No, but why would you film it? I don't get it. I mean, maybe it's a kick people get. Maybe it's like a, you know...
But they did.
A bondage
He's lost
thing.
it,
I don't know,
and it can end up somewhere. Has he got anything to worry
about?
about?
Of course it did. If you're going to do it, it's going to end up in someone's hands. Like, it's just... Why would you go there? It's just...
Okay.
Unless you expected it to get
If you happen to make that mistake, what mindset do you adopt knowing that it could be out there and you can't control it?
Oh, I would,
how do you survive that?
I would probably let it go and do the whole, it wasn't me.
Does that look like me? Yeah. No. Oh, she looks a bit like me. But
I didn't do it.
Okay. Well, there you go. Yeah, it wasn't really us.
Ignorance is bliss.
Deny. All right, Sarah, come on. What do you do here?
Well,
You've been caught.
Yeah.
You don't want to tell your mum.
It's happened, okay? I don't know why you did it, but it's happened. You took a risk. It didn't work out in your favour. You got to bear the consequences now, I'm afraid. Tell your girlfriend, because it includes her.
What's the worst that can happen if he tells her?
Put your big boy panties on, just tell her.
Does she even know that
She's
the
not gonna
video
crack.
was even made?
No, she doesn't know.
Oh, of course she does.
But if it
what
does
girls
go
don't
out-
know that there's this... Oh, they're all little now, aren't they?
But she doesn't know it's stolen.
She what?
She doesn't know it's stolen.
No, she doesn't know it's
So
stolen.
she needs to know.
Yeah.
She doesn't
You
know
need
it's
to tell
stolen.
her.
She's not, but is she going to crack it? Jules, is she going to crack it?
You can't tell her. Look, there's so many ifs here.
You say don't tell her.
There's so many ifs here. Is Katie's
Your
computer
daughter says
stolen?
tell her, you say don't
well,
tell
we
her.
don't agree on most things, actually. So, as she will tell you. Look, it's been stolen. She doesn't need to know. There's so many ifs. If they take the computer, they're probably just going to sell it to cash converters. They're going to strip it off, and they're not going to go looking for porn on your computer. Then they've got to upload it to a site. Then someone you know has to see it when there's literally hundreds of thousands of those things being uploaded every week.
What's the chances?
Every day.
Yeah.
It's just not going to happen. It's just going to ruin your relationship. You're not celebrities, so people really
No
don't
one's
care.
interested.
And as Nola said, if you don't look great, you know, no one's going to want to watch you anyway.
All right,
Sweep
we're
it under the rug.
going to do a quick vote on the panel. All those who say tell her, raise your hand.
Tell her about what?
Tell the girlfriend.
you live to-
Tell the girlfriend, just Sarah.
Nah, not me.
No? Everybody else says keep your mouth shut.
Say nothing.
There you go. All right. So Carl of Mile End, South Australia, shut up. Don't say anything, but I bet you've already told all your mates, right? When we come back, we're going to be talking refugees. Don't go away, more of Sweet and Sour coming up. That was a good chat. Are we clapping, are we? 3. Welcome back to Sweet and Sour. If you'd like to send us a letter, send it to the address that's appearing on your screen right now, which is letters@sweetandsour.net.au. And for every letter writer, we're going to send you to the movies courtesy of the very gorgeous Natalie O'Shea, as she is now, mum to Eloise. And this week we're sending you to the Three Stooges. You turn that around, I can't see it, but never mind. And give us a hello on Facebook as well, which is?
Facebook.com/sweet and sour.
And how do we say hello, Keski? We just push the like button, do we? Just give us a like on Sweet and Sour. And for every like we get, what happens? We don't know. They'll tell us. It's good for us, apparently. Letter to Dear Mitch, enough is enough. I know that song. While I agree there are some... She died, Donna Summer, that's right. While I agree there are some more than nasty situations in the world, most of which I see perpetrated by religious nutters, where people are horribly displaced and become refugees, at what point does a recipient nation like Australia say, I can't take any more? In my view, we're at that point. When the safety on the streets and in the suburbs begins to break down and our way of life is at potential threat, the time has come to send a serious message to the people smugglers of this world that we no longer afford them the legal rights that have caused this massive influx. I refer specifically to a recently apprehended people smuggler who was permitted to sneak out of Australia back to Indonesia. At the same time that any possibility of federal legislation collapsed. As a result, we are now receiving a boatload of smuggled people each day, and it's growing. They don't even bother to leave Indonesian waters anymore. They just call up the Australian Federal Police on the phone to come and get them. I ask, at what point do we just say no? There are millions of refugees in the world. Are we to take them all? When do we stop? And why don't we insist on those arriving here adopting Australian values rather than perpetuating the primitive values that necessitated them abandoning their own nation? It comes to us from Anthony of Kingsford, New South Wales, right across the continent. Julie, enough is enough, says Anthony.
Oh my goodness, this is one of these topics that you should never ever bring up at a dinner party or, you know, at any
Religion,
social situation.
politics, sex and refugees.
Because it is so
There's now a
polarising. There's people that go, don't take them in, and there's people that go, do. I'm sorry, Anthony, but I don't agree with you at all. I think you're wrong, so we must never go to dinner together and discuss this. We don't take in nearly enough refugees. I was reading some stats the other day. UK, then I think it's Canada, and then USA, all take sort of between 35, 45,000 a year. We take like 8,000. That is
We're
pathetic.
a smaller population, though. We're only
Well, look at
23
the
million.
UK. It's a tiny little nation.
13,000 that we take.
Well, that was 2009, but so they would have grown as well as, you know, relatively as well.
Yeah.
Now the UK is a tiny little country with a much bigger population than we've got. We've got all this space. God, we can afford to take more of these people. I mean,
Have we got the resources?
Absolutely.
Of course we do. Of course we do. We've hardly got. There's no one here. We've got what, 15 million people? Something like that. It's pathetic. It's pathetic.
23 million.
We have to take these people. These people are in need. They're in dire straits. And you talk about boat people. You do know that most illegal refugees, or refugees, whatever you want to call them, arrive by plane. 95%.
Oh, most illegal immigrants.
Yeah, they're people, they arrive with a visa and then they overstay their welcome and then they stay in the country and they do work illegally and all that sort of thing. The boat
And
people
we are obliged to take our fair portion
Yeah.
of refugees.
We are.
Which you were saying earlier.
We do, we have to.
And we've done something really curious. Everybody who lands on our shores, we call them illegal straight away.
Yeah, it's wrong.
And
you
that
know,
rubs us up the wrong way.
To say that, you know, our society's breaking down and we can't walk on the streets, what, you're saying that boat people are all the people that cause these crimes? What about, you know, there's plenty of Caucasians and, dare I say it, our own Indigenous people who cause lots of those problems as well. We cannot blame it all on these poor refugees.
Come on, Sarah. Are you a soft touch like your mum?
Well, I do have to agree with you on this one.
Oh,
I do.
boring, boring TV agreement.
I think, you know, I think all countries should have a certain amount that they allow into the country, judging
Where
on
do you set those limits, though?
But
How
the
do you work
population
it
and
out?
size, you work it out. And
Set proportions
unless
for
you reach
everybody.
that number, you can't turn them away. I think that's just the easiest way. We all.
Is there quotas set?
Well, that's what he's saying. Like, where
I don't
do
know.
we draw
Do
the
we
line?
have
At
I
what
don't know.
point?
I don't know. Yeah, I'm sure we do.
We do have a number, we have a figure.
But the only thing that I do know, we take somewhere between 8 and 13,000 a year,
Yeah.
but there are something like 54,000 who arrive on planes
That's
that
a
we never
refugee.
find.
And
we don't
asylum
talk
about-
seekers
13,000.
a different thing again. Asylum seekers, what we call the boat people, isn't it? A refugee is somebody that's illegally done all the document, and we see how we can fit these refugees into our society. An asylum seeker is a boat person. That's a different thing.
Okay.
Do you understand
Sarah
what-
says yes.
Most people don't
Bring them
know
in.
that.
Julie says bring them in. Courtney says.
Definitely say bring them in.
Bring 'em in.
Treat others how you'd like to be treated. Imagine if you were those people, you know,
could
and
happen to us.
what makes us more
That's
superior.
right.
Oh, I was born
That's right.
here and to this, you know, like it's treat others how you would like to be treated, and we have the ability to help these people, so let's help them.
He makes a point down here, and it's probably the biggest issue. It's why we don't take offence to people who look like us coming in, but we get stirred up when somebody says, look at them, they're different. He says, and why don't we insist on those arriving here adopting Australian values rather than perpetuating primitive values, blah, blah, blah. Well, they come here to adopt Australian values.
And
they come here because of our
And
values.
they don't leave their countries because of their values. They leave countries because somebody's going
They're
to kill them, or they're starving,
persecuted,
or
etc.
They don't leave because they don't want to love their God or their culture, or
Yeah, and they do become very Australian. I look at my family, who both sides have been here more than 100 years, but they were wogs and all sorts of things when they first arrived, and we suffered riots and all that, people were killed and all that sort of thing. And now they look at us and go, oh no, you're white people.
Yeah,
You're
and can I
okay.
just say too that I think it's beautiful that we adopt their values. You know, we've become this beautiful, well, we are becoming.
You eat
this
Greek food too.
beautiful-
Italian
Yeah,
food,
I eat
Indian
every
food,
My boyfriend,
Afghan food.
Kiwi,
It's
and,
fantastic.
you know, like,
fantastic.
like I just think that I feel so proud when, you know, I look at all of my eclectic friends and how open-hearted Australia appears to be. You know, we're multicultural, we embrace all cultures.
Yeah, we're
I
a
love
very
being,
tolerant
you know,
society.
like, everyone's equal, like,
We are
share
a
the
love
world,
baby, aren't we?
you know?
No question though that it's a huge issue in the community, but a lot of people have got the wrong wedge.
It's just based
We're-
on wrong information. We've fed a lot of propaganda.
But I'm just sorry.
A lot of people don't
when
know
we
the
come
facts.
back, we're talking about sexting outside of marriage. Don't go away. Sexting. You ever sext?
And remember, children, just before you go to sleep tonight, advice is like water. It forms the shape of the vessel into which it is poured.
James? You reckon I'm a James? Middle names we're talking about. Here we go. Dear Sweet and Sour, my husband and I are having some trouble. We've had growing issues for a few years. To be honest, I thought he just didn't care anymore. We've been going to counselling and making some progress, but whilst this has been going on, we've been having a bit of a break from one another. I've not been with anyone else, but on a night out last month with the girlfriends, I met a man who excited me and made me feel young and sexy again. We kissed, that's all. And in a silly moment, I text him a naked photo of myself. Unfortunately, my husband found the text and hit the roof. I don't know if he even has any right to. Have I really done anything wrong here? I haven't slept with the other man. We're still getting counselling. A part of me is delighted that he did hit the roof because it shows that he still may care, but he said that it was a matter of being made a fool of rather than having his wife feel something else for another man. Am I wasting my time with counselling? He wants to go and confront the other man to see if I was telling him the whole truth. I told him we did nothing, but I didn't tell him that we kissed. What direction is my marriage heading for, panellists? Kim of Bulleen in Victoria. Courtney, you're first.
Well,
Kiss
first
and
of all, I'm
tell.
just going to go by saying, again, when will people learn? Stop recording the sexual antics. You know, like if you just
Yeah,
have
be
your
discreet.
tracks, be clever about these people.
Yeah,
then
wrap it up.
You can have a lot more fun.
Keep it
and
closed.
No
Cover
mess.
job.
No.
Lock it away.
But there's clearly, I think, trust issues, obviously, and communication issues, which is with most, I suppose, breakdowns.
Yeah,
the
guys
two
are really
big-
hard to,
He's got a
bond with
massive
him.
ego too.
He does, because he said it was about, you know, his
straight away.
his
he's not,
pride rather than whether his wife's feeling something for somebody else. But that might,
Exactly.
don't you think that just might have been him again speaking from
That kind of-
testosterone, saying, "Oh, look, I really don't care for you, but this is a
Ego.
yeah,
Ego, pride.
yeah."
Yeah.
Probably half the
Hurt
issue in the
too.
marriage.
He's probably hurt. But
And
you
doesn't
know,
want
they
to
were
admit
on
it.
a bit of a break. I don't know really what that means.
We
but
were on a break.
They were on a break.
She didn't do anything wrong. Big deal, you kissed him. But why would you go outside the marriage, Nola?
Well,
If you're trying for and you're doing
you know, look,
counselling.
I marry people and I see them when they first are in love and you know that everything's wonderful, but even though life is short, marriage is long. and it goes in
Can
and
I
out
quote
of, it goes out in and out of phases, and there are times when
It's trying.
it's trying and you could be bored or you could be going into a different phase even physically and you feel like you need more, and a little tiny kiss with a person one night does not wreck a marriage if the marriage is strong. Do you know, we've all been tested.
Bottom line.
People get attracted to other people. I don't believe there is one person in the world for you. So, you know, I'm a celebrant, but I still think that if somebody
Can I
died,
ask
you
a
would
question?
find someone else that
Have
you love.
you seen the same person come up to you and get married again?
Not yet, because
Not yet.
I'm not that old of a celebrant.
Okay.
So
Okay. All right.
I'm
All
a
right.
baby celebrant.
All right, Julie.
Oh, Kim. You know, it is so intoxicating when someone thinks you're gorgeous and it's all new and fresh and you're in this marriage
buzz,
that's
buzz,
having
buzz.
trouble.
Yeah.
But really, your husband's agreed to go to counselling, and you know that probably wasn't an easy thing to get him to do. So you're working on your marriage, and I don't really see how you're going to kind of make progress doing that if you've allowed yourself to fall under this other man's spell. So I think you need to make up your mind.
And tell the truth. And bring it all out. If you
And
don't
with
counsel.
Courtney, the naked photo, really? I don't think so.
Yeah, why do people do that? Why do people take naked photos of themselves?
I don't know. It's such a stupid idea.
You've got to work that out early to get you through the next
I
phase
do.
of this technological era.
You know, there's a lot of that going around. Should I go with this person? Should I go with that? I'm just over it. Like, make a decision and go with it. Whatever it is, bear the consequences. You can't like two people,
good
so
approach.
just choose.
It's a good approach to life.
You can like two.
No, I don't care. You choose it.
No, you
A
can
decision
like
that has to be made. Choose it.
And
choose
go
who you
with
want
it.
to be with.
Make the best
Go,
of your
finish,
decision.
Done.
Either finish or go. I'm with you.
I'm so
I
over it.
think you
I
can-
want to go.
I like the
think when
approach.
I think when
You
you've
make the
been
most of
married
your
a long
decisions.
Time, you could, and things were a bit boring. You could kiss somebody else and get.
But she's counselling to save her marriage. Why would she go and kiss
Well,
someone
she'd
else?
be-
Because they're on a break before they were
She'd
on a
be
break.
making a
Now they're
decision
gonna
then to
kiss
save her
somebody.
marriage.
Counselling. So
Yeah.
obviously
She'd be
she
making
wants
that
to
decision,
save,
though.
How's she going to save her marriage when she's kissing another man and sending nude photos of herself? Seriously.
She's not getting enough from her husband. She has to make a decision and then make the best of that decision. I'm with you. Tough. Make a decision. That's your road. Let's face it.
counselling going.
You know, life is about that. You make a decision, you keep travelling. If you don't make any decisions, you don't go anywhere.
That's true.
Nothing
That is
happens.
true. I'm
Wisdom.
living proof of that.
Wisdom. Stick up for your daughter, will you? She's made it.
She's so wise. She's
Ladies,
wise.
one more thing to do before we disappear. We've got to decide which letter was the best to give away the pair of limited edition sunnies, courtesy of Alon Treves and Aussie Opticals. Nola, which do you like?
I like the last girl.
The last girl.
Because
This one just now.
at least her life, at least she's trying to make the best of everything.
Courtney?
Positive.
Courtney's still breathing?
Yeah, I think I have to go the girl.
Last one
I'll
as well?
agree with my mother.
Sarah?
I'll agree. I'll go with the crowd.
Jules, you got no say in this. 3 against 1.
It doesn't matter what I say, does it?
What-
I would have given it to the guy who lost his laptop just so he got something back. But, you know,
that's quite nice.
3 against 1.
Oh no, we haven't got any time to change the mind. All right, coming out to
Filming his girlfriend.
Kim of Bulleen. She knew. We're still talking about it. Ladies, thank you so much for bringing your daughters in. It's been terrific. Have you enjoyed it?
Yeah.
Yeah?
So much fun.
Do you want to come back?
Yeah, I do.
All right, we're going to have you back. Sooner or later, we'll have you back. And we'll have Claudia on too.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Maybe we can do a
you
panel
know
for
there's
5 or
there's
6.
a Gen Y situation. Their gang of Gen Ys are the funniest people you will ever come across.
Don't,
She is
tell-
the funniest
don't tell me
person I
that.
know.
Don't tell me that. It jinxes people on the show. Yeah?
Does it?
I've got so many people come on and say, I'm really funny, and they get on and they're...
I'm really funny.
Yeah, but if they say I'm really funny, there's a worry there. But I'm actually telling you they are funny.
We'll see. Thank you for being on the show, ladies. Lovely to have you.
Thank you.
And,
Nice to be here.
and enjoy Bali again, because I'm sure you're going to disappear very quickly
You're
again.
going to go. You said.
Shh.
Take me.
Soon.
Oh, it's a secret.
Thank you, Nola. Thank you, Courtney. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Julie.
Thank you.
Bye, Mick.
Thank all of our wonderful panellists. Thank our terrific crew. And thanks for having us at home tonight, Australia. Good night, everybody. Bye-bye. Da-da-da-da-da-da.